Here with us now, Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council. Tony, welcome. Good to see you. So let's start just by talking about faith and politics. You know, many Christians, as you know, are very active politically, very passionate about a lot of issues. But Tony, when does it go too far? I mean, we're now talking about Christian nationalism.
When does it go too far? We should ask the question, where does it begin? First off, our hope is not in politics. Our hope is in the person of Jesus Christ. We're engaged in politics not because we're looking to gain anything from government. Government is not going to save us. We're looking to get involved in government so that the church can do its role, and that is share the good news of Jesus Christ. And so I think as we see the increasing secular nature of our government and becoming more hostile toward religious faith, you know, there's sometimes those lines are blurred, but for those who follow the Lord Jesus Christ, our role is to be salt and light in the world around us, making room for us to be able to live out our faith in such a way to impact the lives of others. That's what we're looking for in government. We don't want government to mandate it, but we don't want government to mandate that we can't live for Christ either.
Yeah. Tony, do you think a lot of this started with former President Trump?
No, this has been going on since the moral majority. I've been around a long time, going back to as a student at Liberty University, you know, when Dr. Falwell began the moral majority. I wasn't there then, but I watched it from a distance. And look, they come up with these different, the religious right was kind of a title that they thought was derogatory, but then it was embraced as a badge of honor. So now they've come up with Christian nationalism because it has negative connotations. As long as there are Bible-believing Christians in America, they will be involved in the government of their country. We're called to be as such. Now, again, it's not because our hope is in government, it's because we're to be an influence upon everything around us.
Tony, I want to ask you about something former President Trump recently said in an interview with ABC News. He called it common sense for January 6 rioters to chant, "Hang Mike Pence." I'd like to get your thoughts on that, Tony.
Well, you know, I agreed with the president on almost all of his policy decisions. I didn't agree with him on a lot of his political decisions. I think January the 6th was a big mistake to call people to the nation's capital, given all that was transpiring and happening. In fact, after the election, I tried to get to the president. I was blocked. Don't know why, but I was blocked from talking to him about this. But I think there should have been a point where the president pivoted away from his election to the broader issue of election reform and election integrity. But I think the nation was just on pins and needles at that point, and I do not think it was a good thing to bring people to our nation's capital. Now, that said, I don't think the president's responsible for what happened on January the 6th. I don't think he wanted that to happen, and I don't think he inspired it either.
Tony, just about 30 seconds left, but Let's Go Brandon is something we hear pretty often these days. Quick comment on that, if you can.
Well, I was actually one of the first Christian leaders to speak out in opposition to that. One of my biggest social media posts, a lot of reaction to it. I think it's wrong. We should be praying for our leaders. I disagree with almost everything this administration does, but I'm going to pray for them. I'm not going to curse them because that's what God tells us to do.
All right, Tony Perkins with the Family Research Council. It's always good to see you, Tony. Appreciate you coming on tonight.